All right, we've got the laptop out today because we are going to be checking out this microphone by HyperX. So let's get to it. All right, welcome back to Gadget Conquest, everybody. I am hitting you up today with this. This is the HyperX SoloCast. It is a $50 microphone by HyperX, which is known as a gaming peripheral company who usually targets lower cost while still providing pretty good performance. So they're more of a value brand without being one of those like super cheap Chinese brands. You'll still find it at like Best Buy and even stores like Walmart and Target. You'll still find their stuff there. But let's get into it. So I stupidly already broke the seal on this, but I did not go any further than that. So we will actually get to see a regular unboxing. Looks like we've got some plastic wrapped around the microphone and we have a USB cable here. We will put that off to the side because I think there's something else in here. There we go. Okay, that's everything. So what do we have here? This is a quick start guide. Ooh, love those quick start guides. Looks like we've got some basic information on what's going on with the microphone. Looks like there is a tap to mute sensor, a microphone status LED, a microphone alignment guide. It comes with a stand. It's already attached to the stand, as you can see. There's a USB port and a USB cable. And it does say USB-C, and I'm looking at this USB cable, and that is a Type-C cable, which is really cool. What else do we have in this guide? All right. It says that it is compatible with a PC and a PlayStation 4, which is pretty interesting. It doesn't say anything about compatibility with Xbox, so I'm going to assume that it's not officially compatible, but who knows? It might work. Let's put this off to the side. We'll put that in there. Let's see how long this cable is. So these kinds of microphones that you're normally expected to have like on your desk will generally have a decently lengthed cable in order to get it from, say, the top of your desk, the desktop, to your desktop. See what I did there? So let's see what we got here. This is a good length cable. Let's see. I'd say this is probably a 2-meter cable, which is pretty good. And it is a USB Type-C cable. Let's get on with the show here. How do you remove this thing? All right, so it looks like there's a plastic cover here that just sort of notches in. Sort of. Does it? Ah, there we go. That's loud. All right, and this just falls right out. Pretty lackluster unboxing, really. Not a lot to handle here, but given the price point that this is trying to hit at $50 US and the quality that they're trying to give you with the actual product, I can definitely be a little more forgiving with the quality of the unboxing, because if you can sacrifice on the unboxing without sacrificing to lower the price without sacrificing on the quality of the materials, then you're doing a pretty good job. And speaking of the quality of the materials, this feels nice. It's a nice, smooth, matte finish, kind of glossy, but it is definitely a matte finish. It just has the HyperX logo on the front, the USB Type-C port on the back. On the bottom, there is a, looks like a quarter-inch screw hole at the bottom, and then also a 3/4-inch screw hole outside. So it looks like you could actually mount this to 2 different types of stands, which is really, really cool. And that's it for that. Oh, there is also, looks like on the top, we've got a little peel here. There you go. And there is a microphone mute at the top. However, I think it's a capacitive button, which is actually pretty cool because Yeah, there's no clickiness or anything to it. So I'm guessing it's a capacitive button, and just kind of looking at the inside here, I can, with the lights, I can sort of see through it. It looks like the microphone itself is pretty directional. Comes in through just this way. There's no settings for setting up the directionality or the sort of the pickup pattern of the mic. It's just one way, which is another way that they managed to lower the price, because if you've used something like a Yeti, then you are familiar with the cardioid switch that lets you, or the pickup pattern switch that lets you switch between different patterns, different directions that the microphone can pick up. This one is more so just to have in front of you. And I think that's basically it for here. The stand is pretty solid. Feels like metal. Yeah, I think it's metal. It's got nice smooth rubber or silicone feet on the bottom, so it doesn't really slide around very easily, which is really good. And it has this screw here on the back to give you a little tightening and let you put it at whatever angle you would like, which is also pretty cool. So let's move this out of the way, and let's bring up our laptop, and let's see what this thing sounds like, shall we? Let's plug that in there, and we will plug this in on this side, just because I feel like it. Boom. There you go. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open up Audacity, and let's see if this microphone, if this picks up. So as soon as I plugged in the microphone, we now have this red LED on the front here. Let me see if I can switch to it. Let's see what we can do here. Input device, microphone, HyperX SoloCast. So it looks like Windows picked up the device immediately. There was no need for getting extra drivers, just kind of a plug and play kind of thing, which is always great to see. And let's reopen up. I think I opened up Audacity before I finished plugging it in. That's my bad. Okay. And yep, there it is. Shows up in Audacity as microphone, and then in parentheses it says HyperX SoloCast, which is really cool. Let's go ahead and put this here, and actually let's see how okay. So when you press the microphone mute button on the top, the red light will actually start to blink as it is now, and when I press the button again, it stops blinking and goes solid, so that gives you an idea of when it is muted and when it is not muted. Let's do a couple tests. We'll do something right around this distance, which I think would be probably the most reasonable distance for someone who's on their computer, maybe streaming, and then we'll do something a little bit closer, maybe around here for maybe someone who's just doing chatting instead of maybe playing a game or something like that. And then we will finish it off by getting very, very close and very, very intimate and see what the differences are in the microphone there. I'm going to raise the microphone volume all the way up so that we get the purest sound out of it. And let's start recording now. Okay, so I am recording now on the HyperX SoloCast at, I want to say probably around 30 inches away. Well, maybe not 30 inches. We'll say probably like 20 something inches. And this is what it sounds like. I'm speaking at my normal speaking voice. This is the level that I would normally speak at. The microphone volume, the pickup volume is all the way up, and this is what you can expect to hear. So now let's move the microphone a bit closer. There we go. So now the microphone is probably 6 to 8 inches away from my face, and this is probably much more close to what you would hear if someone was doing like a chatting stream, maybe, where they want to just speak directly to people. And I think that this is probably a good simulation of that. Now, let's get... So I'm here very, very close to the microphone, and I can see that it is clipping. So I'm going to have to lower the volume of it in order to keep you guys from going deaf. But This is what it sounds like when you're very, very close and very, very personal with the microphone. The idea here would be maybe someone who has the microphone on an arm and is using it as a broadcast microphone. This is more what it would sound like. I am noticing, however, the form looks odd. So we're going to have to see what that sounds like after the fact, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's end this recording. And we will stop. Okay, and let me make sure to save this recording. Let me make sure to export this recording before I do anything else, because I will absolutely just forget. I've done it before. I've done it multiple times. And we will put it just on my desktop, and we will leave it as untitled. That's fine. Okay, cool. So that's exporting. And now let me go ahead and listen to a little bit, and I will be right back with my results. Give me 1 minute. Okay, I have reviewed our audio sample here, and honestly, it's weird. So at this 20-inch distance, it actually sounds really good. It sounds what I would say to be pretty similar to I have the Yeti Blackout Edition, not the Yeti Pro, just the regular Yeti. But that is a pretty expensive, microphone. And honestly, at this distance, it sounds pretty similar to it. When I moved it closer, it still sounded pretty good. And it didn't really have any drops or any weird static or anything like that. However, and I will be playing the audio for you guys, so you will have heard it by now. When I got really up close and personal with the microphone, it really couldn't handle that. It was hitching, it had weird static, there would be just flat out drops altogether. So clearly this is not the kind of microphone that you should have right up to your face and be talking to like that, but it was never advertised to be anywhere on the packaging here. So I wouldn't assume it to be that way anyway. This is a mic very, very made for streamers and people and gamers. That's who they're targeting. That's who HyperX is always targeting. And honestly, for the price, it's pretty gosh darn good. It's gonna be, the odds of it being better than the microphone built into your gaming headset are very high, and it's not super expensive. So I would say this thing is a pretty good deal. If you are looking for something like this, if you're looking for a microphone to get you started as maybe a streamer, or if you just want some higher quality audio, but you don't want to spend a ludicrous amount of money on it because you're not an enthusiast, you just don't want your friends to, you don't want to sound like crap to your friends, then I think this is a pretty good deal, honestly. For the price, I can't really fault it in any way. It was weird, the hitching and the staticky and the strangeness when I got super, super close to it, but that was an extreme use case. In most cases, you should just be using it at this distance. And during the recording, you probably heard some Hall effect, but that's just because of the area that I'm recording in. That's just normal for where I'm recording, and that's going to be normal on any sort of microphone like this when you're recording from that far away. If you live in a place where you have that kind of Hall effect, then you would actually want a microphone that you could be very close to, and what you do is we want to lower the volume that the microphone picks up at, and just be very close to it, and that will get rid of that sort of like hallway theater, like reverb effect. But and this very likely isn't the microphone that you would want to use for that. But if you're not that kind of person and you don't have that issue, or you don't care that much, you heard what I had, this is an extreme case. If your case isn't that bad, or you didn't care for that sound and you think that 50 bucks sounds good, go for it. Honestly, this thing gets 2 thumbs up. It was actually really nice mic. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment and tell me what you think about this beautiful little microphone. And I will see you in the next one. So have a good night, have a good week, and I'll see you later. Bye.